Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. It is, yeah, it's Wednesday. Oh my goodness. So yesterday I ended up not streaming. I went into Seattle to just have like some face-to-face time with the company or the studio I do contract work for, and man, I am very fortunate that I work for them. It was such a good experience, such like so uplifting. And I like yesterday was just such a I don't know, like I just came away yesterday very happy. And I guess a happy Joshua is a Joshua whose brain works a little bit better because for the past week or so I've been kind of fighting this whole issue with the textures not correctly being translated or transformed depending upon how the tile is situated. And yesterday, all those little pieces just kind of fell into place for one reason or another. Um, and yeah, just like sometime during like maybe yesterday late afternoon, it just started kind of making sense. And I went to my laptop and I started blocking out a little prototype, and it turns out, yeah, I figured out what was going wrong. And yeah, I'll talk about that here, I guess, in just a second, right? That's kind of what we're all about. But hey, I'm Joshua. This is my lunch break work. My lunch break game development stream where I work on game development projects over my lunch hour. And lately, I've been building a tool to turn 2D tile maps into 3D Quake maps. The typical example I have, let me see, let me pull it open, is something like this, where the tile map looks like this. And it's got to the point now too where I have multiple layers on my tile map. So let me turn off those. So this is just this is the basic layout, and then I have a layer to add a ceiling in, and then I have a layer to add in other like pillars and stuff. The way the layers work is the geo just kind of gets layered on top of itself, and I just let QBSP handle all of the heavy lifting as far as like clipping and triangulation and stuff like that. So then I can just go to my command line. I guess I'm done with that. Let's go to games Quake, and then I have a little just a little batch file here that just runs my utility, and you hand it a tile map, which is a tmx file, and you hand it a mapping.json or any sort of JSON file that is the mapping file. This basically just maps the 2D tiles to the 3D tiles, and you optionally can specify an output map if you like. So it looks something like this. A side effect of me fixing the texture offset is it is more computationally intensive. So my tool is a little bit slower. I think it runs usually in about a second now. So it was under a second, but now it's not. I don't think it's a huge trade-off. But yeah, that's where we're at. And this is the level I've been kind of tweaking on, just making bits for it. And the texture is now aligned, but I guess you can't really tell. But yeah, so it like you can do all the scaling and rotation and offsetting, and it will preserve all that good stuff for you. Cool. Let's get out of here. And I was still doing a little bit of work. I think I've been working just right before the stream. So before my lunchtime stream, I spend like maybe 30 minutes just chatting with viewers and folks on my community Discord. I have one of those. And I've been working on so I think I had set this up maybe yesterday. I didn't commit it and I lost it, which is a bummer, but basically just copying over, you can have these map properties, so map properties, and then I specified these sunlight values, and that now gets applied to world spawn. I need to commit this before I forget again. Also, I'm solving right now too is there's a small bug that world spawn was only using the WAD value for the very first 3D tile. So if all your 3D tiles use exact same WADs, it's not an issue. But if you have one 3D tile that uses different WADs, you get missing textures. So I'm working on fixing that as well. I think I can speed it up. I have this issue where so So basically, the WADs are listed as just a semicolon separated or delineated string, and my initial thing is to I'm splitting them up, putting them into a set, and then joining them again. But I'm doing this for every single brush. And I'm wondering if it's better just to concatenate them all, and then at the end, when I'm done with all that stuff, just do the what is the word? So do the set the set work there. So I might try that real quick. So here you can see if it has a WAD, existing WADs is a set, and then if there are existing WADs, yeah. So up here I can just set world spawn dot WAD equals empty string, which is fine. And then now down here, I don't need this little guard. World spawn WAD. Hey, Seahawk Blue, how the heck are you? Okay, so I don't need this. I can just say existing WAD equals that, and actually, I should be able to say something like e.wad equals join of e.wad and entity.wad. I think that's fine. Let me see that. Let me just jump here real quick. I've been my past lunch breaks I've been working on a tool to make Quake maps out of 2D tile maps. Clear. Python a equals path to wad 1.wad and path to wad 2.wad. A b equals path to wad 3.wad b. And then I can do, just do dot join a and b. Okay, so I need to just quickly put that in a tuple then. There we go. That's what I want to do. Yeah. Yeah, so having them in a tuple is fine. So this will just concat all the WADs into one giant string, and then I should be able to crunch that down into just a unique set of strings. So let's just get rid of that. Okay, I'm just special casing this, and then after we're done with all of the actually probably after we're done with all of this stuff, yeah, I have not. Ned Bolter's asking, have I played Quake Champions yet? I have not played Quake Champions yet. WAD set equals world spawn dot WAD dot split on semicolon and set of that, and that should be fine. And then world spawn dot WAD equals join of WAD set. I think that should do it. Debug. Okay. Step. So That should be way longer than it is. Let me see, wad. E.wad, let's see what this hits. Debug. Yeah, no, I have a very soft spot in my heart for Quake 3. I played a ton of Quake 3. Remove all watches, new watch, world spawn wad. Okay. So e.wad is that. And that. E is world spawn. E is in fact world spawn. What does this evaluate to? Yeah, that looks fine. Yeah, so this just should keep getting longer and longer. Let me look .wad equals. Yeah, that's okay. Longer and longer. So world spawn.wad. Yes, okay, perfect. That's what I expected to see. Step. And then yeah, then it and then it crunches it all down to, oh. Why does it have empty string in there? That's interesting. I don't want the empty string in there. How to remove the empty string? I think I can just do a set of 1, 2, 3. S equals that. S dot sub tract div. Okay, time to look at the manual. Python set subtraction dot difference. That's weird. Can I just do the S minus 1? Yeah. S dot difference 1. Okay, yeah, that works. Cool. I could just real quickly throw away that too. Wad set equals equals wad set dot difference debug. Yeah, that's better. Cool. Does it run any faster is the question though. I think quit. The last time I ran, oh, I forget. I didn't. So I added timing steps to my Go. It still ran at roughly the same speed. So I guess there's no real big savings there. Whatever. Clean up wads. Cool. No thanks. All right, let me commit this stuff. Let me just make sure I'm at a good spot. Cool. So this fixes the copying of the world spawn properties, and it fixes the WAD stuff. The world spawn properties I think is big enough to call it a minor feature, so I'll just up this to 050. Making good progress on this little tool. Unfortunately, 4.0 never saw a release, but that's okay. So let's do a git status. Let's do git add this. And git commit -m world tiled map properties are copied to world spawn. Cool. Hey, Neki. Yeah, I've been kind of testing this with actually, yeah. Let me just, before I get too far ahead of myself, if you folks are interested, I'll kind of talk through how I solved the texture issue I was having. Again, it is a little computationally intensive, but nothing bad. Let me see. So it's here. So at a high level, what I do is I need to figure out for every plane of a brush, I need to figure out what axis that plane is basically facing. So and I do this by comparing the plane normals. Or basically, if you look at the plane normal and you look at the magnitudes of the components of that normal, you can figure out which axis it's most closely aligned to. So X, Y, Z. And then I just do a quick just to figure out what's the dominant. I call it dominant axis. It's probably not. I don't know. There could be a better word for it, but you prefer Z over X over Y. So you figure out roughly which way the plane is facing. And then you just build up a texture space transformation matrix. Nothing crazy here. It's just accounting for the offset and the scale and the rotation. That's pretty straightforward stuff. And then I build a transformation matrix by multiplying those together. And then I use, let me see, this dx dy. Do I use those anywhere, or did I get rid of that? Oh, I don't use that anymore. I could probably clean this up as well. Cool. Let's clean that up some more then too. So then what I do is I have the brush offset. So this is how much the tile is being moved in the X, Y, and the Z offset now. I haven't really hooked it up, but I'm starting to anticipate it. And then I have this thing called a world swizzle matrix, which basically given the dominant axis, it will kind of swizzle around the axes to line up with the texture plane. So let me fire open Trench Broom. So I'm just not saying just random words. So okay, in the case of this one, this particular plane faces down the positive X. So if we were to align our view with this, and we look at the texture X offset, actually this is the texture X offset for this plane is aligned to the Y axis, and the texture Y offset is aligned to the world Z axis. And this changes on what plane you're looking at. Like for example, the plane that faces along the Y, the X changes the X, and then the global Z is affected by the Y. And then thirdly, if you look down from the top, the simple case where the X changes the X and the Y changes the Y. So that was the big thing, I guess, is just figuring out like I need to kind of break out these cases, and then I just created a little swizzle matrix, and then you can take the brush offset and then you just run that through the swizzle matrix, and that will remap the world axis to the local texture axis, and then you just multiply through, and then you get your texture offset. Bada bing. Hey Felix. But yeah, it felt so nice actually getting that like fixed. Yeah, let me just remove those dx dy. Let me run my tool again just to make sure that I haven't broken the world. But yeah, since I don't think I was using it, so it should make sense. Up to go. Yeah, a little bit faster too. Nice. Cool, yeah, and it still looks like I expect. Nice. Quit. Okay. And did git status up to repository cmax git status git diff. Okay, I just cleaned that up, so that's pretty easy. Yeah, I'll just commit it real quick. I don't. I mean, yeah, I don't need to bump the version because I really haven't done anything. Because it's faster, but it doesn't really change behavior that much. How about further cleaning up texture transformation? Cool. How is everybody doing? How is the first half of your week gone for you so far? Okay. Cool. Let's not save this, but yeah, I've been having some fun with building out this little tile set. A fun thing I have been doing with other kind of tile sets is building like these like half doors, if that makes any sense. And they work out nicely. It's better than these double doors. Like these doors are good, like single. Let me just. The doors side by side aren't great, right? Like it's for like a door by itself, they're fine. So like down here, I think I have just a door, and that works, fine. But when they're like this, that's not great. That's dumb. So let me see if I can fix that and just make it a little better. So let's go ahead and let's just plan on duplicating that. So let's go to our Photoshop and let's make ourselves a new 2D tile. So file, 2D tiles. And then canvas, I can resize this to 196, I think is correct, or 192. There we go. Enter should commit you. Okay, and let's grab these doors here. And let's move them down like this. And now what they're going to be is they're going to be just a, basically there's going to be a half of a door. So like that. And then, yeah, same thing over here. Just quickly do this. And let's do something like this. Open this up. These doors may work on their own, but it might be a little wonky. Okay, so save. And then let's add, so let's open up the door and just modify it and save it as a new door. So file, open. This is in basic 2 3D tiles. I need tile 12. Nope. So this is our basic door. And what I think I want to do is, let's do this. So this is going to be tile just 20. Come on, Photoshop. 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Okay. 20, 21, 22. So real quick, I'll just add some mappings on my mapping JSON before I forget that, because I always forget that. Let's just Control C, Control V. and something like 20, 21, 22. And then let's go to, this is our door, but we're going to just modify it real quick. So delete that. And let's, I guess, delete that. And let's fix the brush a little bit. I'm going to square up the edges here. Okay. And then let's actually just make the door just half of that. Cool. Let's duplicate that, pull that down, do something like that. Let's check the angle on this door. I think that's what I'm goofing. Yeah, it's up right now. I think it needs to be 180. So entity angle 180. Cool. So that points that way. Let me just go to the top view. Yeah, so that's oriented like I expect. And cool. I think that's it. I could add. Let me see if I can add a nicer door texture. That might be nice to do. Even though we won't use all of the door, maybe having y offset 0. That looks a little goofy. Yeah, that's all right. So I guess it's okay if it looks a little strange. And then here we can just put this one right there. And let's say file, save as, tiled20. Cool. And then I think please pop open another instance of Print Room. Browse, and I want what tile 13. I think is the lower one. Is the lower door. Yeah. So I think if I just delete this and delete that, and if I just copy and paste, I should be all right. Nothing's ever gone wrong with copying and pasting, right? So Control C, Control V, just kind of position this in. All right, about where it ought to be. Like that. And then I think this one, I think it is what? City 6 something? City 6-7. This one should be 21. So file, save as, tile 21. And then I think the last one I need to open up is 14. That's the really high door. Open. Yeah. It's a little on the silly side, but that's all right. Delete and paste. And kind of just position it there. I select, delete that, and save as 22, I believe. Save. Cool. So those are the 3D tiles, 2D tiles, and then let's just add these 2D tiles to the map. So basically, let's turn off these layers, and then go to the tile layer, and then whenever I'm seeing, yeah, here we go. So like that. Then I can flip it on the X like that. Then I can rotate it and then flip it on the Y. And then this one has a high, so let's grab this one and rotate it like so, and then flip it like that. And that should fix our strange double doors. So save and go. Cool. So let's just see. So this one hasn't changed, but oh, there's still the torch there because I'm a dummy. But yeah, so now we have these tiles that just represent doors. Like that works out really nice. And as you can see, all the textures are correctly aligned because it used to be that these would be all scrambled because of the way I was doing. I was not calculating the textures at all. So let's quit. Then let's go into our object layer, turn that visible, and then I'll just maybe I'll just kind of put this little wall torch right over here, and then we can just run it again. Let me see. So Sean Noonan saying, kind of random trench broom question. It might seem obvious, but can you directly reference ping images as textures? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. Ben is asking, hey, how's it going? So Ben, I finally got the textures properly aligned, which feels so good. It's so nice. Yeah, let me put this torch much closer to the door so we can actually see it. I think it like right there should be okay. I could update this to be a little bit closer to reality. So half of that is going to be thick wall. So let's do that. Let's just go into our editor here, and let's just say like something like this. Like that. I don't even know if this is reading like a door, but whatever. Hopefully it makes sense. It makes sense to me, and I guess for now that's okay. I guess I probably ought to eventually create a tile set that like most people can grok, save. And look at here, did it update? It did not. Let me close tile and reopen it. That usually fixes that issue. Yeah, you definitely have to. Yeah, that looks fine. You do have to put all the textures into a wad. That I know of. Like you can slam anything into it. Like I think I was chatting with folks about this the other day. Like you can slam anything you want into a wad, but I think Trench Broom requires it to be in the Quake picture format. Sean Nuno saying, I'm thinking about integrating Trench Broom into my Unreal workflow. Just wondering how I handle materials, etc. So Neki says, "Is this a viable approach?" Neki, what is a viable approach? And yeah, I'm gonna tweak this texture one last time. Maybe this reads better. Man. What else in chat? Thank you, Jazz. No, the door works out fine, I think, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it is viable with my system, that it works, which is good. So Neki says something like, with door trigger multiple that adds +1 to all target names for each instance tile. That seems to work. Oh, using 2 tiles to form a single door. I still kept the single door version as well. I think both could have value. There we go. Yeah, that makes way more sense. Like visually, just looking at it. Sean says, things are a little slower. Like trying to maintain text density between Unreal, Geo, and any models is a nightmare. I've not really played around much with Unreal, but yeah, no, I do love consistent pixel densities. I've pushed very hard for Delver to have as close. I've tried to be good about it. Like obviously, it's not perfect. But we try our best. I think those torches are probably gonna be floating in midair. Oh no, they're actually fine. Oh, and this actually goes out a lot further than I thought it did. It's cool. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, no, I personally I think the aesthetics of like mixed pixel densities, pixel resolutions typically like it can be done well, but typically it really is not done uh, well, unfortunately. Oh, hello there. Are you goofed up in my source file? Let's take a peek. You are not goofed up in my source file. Okay. Huh. Yeah. Curious. Is the lower one also not quite right? I think I'm about to embark on a bug hunt. So let's take a peek. Let's add in a lower door somewhere. Just add them in arbitrarily. Say here. That and Z. Y. Save and go. Yeah, so it looks like my calculations isn't quite right for. Yeah, it looks like it's not taking into account this Y offset correctly. Um, so it could be that I'm just omitting it. Let's um, that's weird. I shouldn't be changing the Y offset. Hey Steven, that's kind of you to say. Um, yeah, no, Quake, it's definitely like it's built to maintain a fairly consistent pixel density, which is nice. Usually the id games are pretty good about that. Um, Shyamalan says, "Does a trim of the door completely enclose the door when it's open to locations you might see the door extending beyond the housing?" It should be contained entirely within this section because um, they're both 32 wide and there's a lip I think of 8 on this, so it shouldn't. I think Ben is worried about it like poking out the back over here. And I don't think that's the case. I could really quickly I can just check by deleting that wall. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, I need to figure out what's going on with that. So open the door, and yeah, so yeah, there is enough. I've designed the tile such that the door doesn't pop out the back there, but you could, and then you'd have to be careful with the tile. I mean, how you build your tiles is up to you, but yeah, that's definitely a consideration. And why are you not aligned correctly? Um, Again, no, I think you can do it. I think it can be done well, Stephen. It's just rarely done well. Um, Now, on the other hand, too, like if your assets have heavy like filtering on them, like I guess there was a point in time, like maybe late '90s, where like heavy bilinear filtering was used all over the place. Then your pixel densities aren't nearly as matter as much. But I love running Quake in like a nice, crisp, uh, unfiltered fashion. And let's figure out why this is doing what it's doing. Um, okay, real quick, I guess the easiest thing for me to do is to delete the world. Yeah. Okay. Delete that. Delete that. let's not delete that. Let's go to this layer and then let's place in this tile at slot 0 so we can see what's going on. I'm going to save it and then I'm going to promptly undo all that stuff. Cool. But not save. So now we can debug it and we can figure out what's going on. And also let me open up file, open recent. Was it tile 21? Yes, this is the offending tile. So let's delete all the brushes that aren't the one we care about. Save. So now we're only debugging a single brush in a single tile. So that should be best. So let's undo those changes again, but let's not save them. Okay, let's take a peek. So bug. So this should be a single world spawn entity, pretty sure. And it should has no brushes. What about, there we go. This has interesting. Oh, I guess we have other entities, right? We do have our object layer, which has like spawn points and stuff. Okay, so let's just go here. So we're creating a new brush. And then we have brush planes, which we should have 6 of them because it's just it's a cuboid, I guess, or cube. Yeah. And then let me see. The offset is 0.32. Okay, 0 minus 96. So that should be the face of our door, pretty sure. Yeah. So the offset of the door is minus 96. Okay. So which plane was that? Brushes, copy brush.planes, copy brush.planes. Which one has offset 96? The second one, the third one? A lot of them? Okay. So let me jump to the next one because I think that's the one that looks a little bit more like we expect. And this offset is 0.96. Okay. Let's just jump here now. Okay. This plane normal is, yeah, just right. It's along. Oh, it's along the y-axis. Okay. And then we do all this hoopla, and we've determined that it is a y-facing plane. Then we get our offsets, so 0 and minus 96 should be what we get. Yup. Then we get here I'm just unpacking these tuples of data. So then I build a translation matrix. Texture x offset, texture y offset minus 96. That's correct. Okay, the scale shouldn't matter because the scale is 1. Rotation I think is 0, so that shouldn't really contribute. Our texture transform. Okay. And then our world Swizzle matrix should be something like x is x and z is y, which is correct. And then our texture offset should be something like 0 and why is our texture offset minus 96? That's Huh. Okay, so basically what's happening is because it's moving in the Z, it's interesting. So the world swizzle should have accounted for that. The relative offset is 198 and 0. Okay. Or 1984 and 0. Instead of doing an add, should I just replace? I'm trying to think. That might be right. Um, cool. Yeah, definitely. I don't know, like when you first get into art, like people like it's easy to fall into the trap of just having like no consistent like palettes or like texture resolutions or themes or anything, right? You're just kind of slapping stuff down and you're just really enjoying yourself. I think there's value in that. Like I just like creating stuff sometimes. Um, I'm curious if I should um, replace instead of add. Is that correct? So let me go back. Let me save this. Save. And then let me go to this and save. And then we have this updated. And if I type go, do I break the world? Is my question. Okay, so you are aligned properly. And so are you. And yeah, you're just yeah, you should be aligned properly because you're fine. Yeah, cool. So yeah, so that's a bug that has been squashed. That is good. Yeah, so I was calculating the texture offsets and then just incrementing them to the existing ones when I should have just been replacing them. So that is good to know. And we can let's put this little fix in and call it good. And yeah, I can just actually just wholeheartedly replace that because these are both tuples, pretty sure. Go. Test that again real quick. Yay! Fixing bugs, and when they're not super awful is a nice feeling. Yeah, that was not so bad. You're aligned, and I think your buddy over here should be aligned as well. And I totally whiffed that jump. Yeah, nice. Yay. Cool. Yeah, just leave it at 050. Nice. Let's commit this. Git diff. Yeah, small change. Git add. Let's do this. Okay, git status. I should just have the one the file staged. Or change to committed. Git commit. Correcting texture offsets. Git push. I think after my stream today, I will cut new builds and put them out on my Discord if people want to fiddle around with this. The 03 to 05 jump is there's several new features in there and some bug fixes that people might be interested in. Nice. Cool. I can fiddle around on this map a little bit more too. I think this back area is way too dark, like personally. So we could add torches back here. That would be a quick way to do it, right? I can grab, let's see, this one and duplicate it and then like maybe slam it against the wall here. And then maybe put one on this other side. This area might not be particularly interesting either though. Let's put this wall back here. Let's save and go. Let's see what that looks like. Up to yeah, and I am loving how fast this iteration process is. That's the whole point of this exercise, is finding a quick way to quickly, or a quick and iterative way to make Quake maps. And also, it's relatively easy, so folks can kind of get into the mapping scene if you've never done mapping before. Yeah, these lights are all right. Maybe I should just have like this back area kind of punch through this back area, maybe have it open to the sky. Maybe that will look more interesting. So we can just go to our ceiling layer and erase the ceiling there. But let's also, I think I erased too much. Let's go there and put that back there. Cool. Save and go. Yeah, let me just no clip straight back to where I want to be. So Jazz is saying that she likes the dark areas. I think dark areas can be good. I just don't want it to be like super dark. I think Ben was mentioning the other day you could add just an ambient level to the map just to kind of pull up the dark values. I'm still getting some weird artifacts too, and maybe it's just how these faces are lining up. I don't think there shouldn't be any leaks. I don't think, but it's acting like some light is somehow escaping through, which is odd. Oh well. Yeah, this light, I think that lightens it up. At least so you have some darkness with some contrasty light in the back, which is cool. Maybe add a way to get up there. Yeah, with the torches. Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you're feeling it. So let's go to our normal layer down here, and I can right click and just create a new brush out of this and maybe push that back a little bit. So we have a little bit of room between that and our ceiling, and I feel like maybe adding ramps or something. Yeah, I just have stairs to get two places. Even if there isn't really much of a place to get to. Yeah, I don't know. Just playing with shapes. Yeah, these tiles are okay. And there's still weird lighting artifacts, and I wonder if it's just because of just the way everything's kind of built out of these tiles. I don't know. Yeah, maybe put those. I don't know. It's all right. Maybe put some. Now I'm going to put some maybe in our ceiling layer. Add in just some ceilings over these bits here. Let's see what that looks like. And maybe in our add layer, I have some pillars. Even these pillars could embed in the half wall. I think that should be interesting look. I haven't tried that yet. Save. Go. Yeah, so Jazz is teasing me, saying that now it's time to move on to Procgen Quake levels because this is working rather well. Yeah, and I think adding these ceiling bits, yeah, these ceiling bits are nice. Adding these little supports too also just adds a little bit of texture to the area that I like. Cool. Yeah, procedural generation all the way down. Yeah, it's turning out okay. Pleasantly surprised. Yeah, and it's. I'm sure there are people out there who probably have way better ideas of how to build 3D tiles than I do. And why is? Oh, Joshua, it looks like my height on that is incorrect. Oh, Joshua, you silly person. Weird. So this one also. Did I? Weird. Okay, I can quickly fix that, I suppose. That's gonna bug me, even though it really shouldn't. Yeah, so which one is which? It's mid. That's low. File, open recent, 22. Yeah. So this can just be our good old wall 11.2. Save. Then file, open recent, I think. Open 14, I think is the other one. Yeah. There we go. Save. Go. Oblige Skelly mod. Yeah, some folks, I think somebody was teasing me about looking into Oblige the other day, because apparently Oblige does Quake levels, which I never really knew. I just knew Oblige spit out relatively interesting Doom levels. Oh yeah, I was fixing something else, not this. I was fixing this! Yeah. And now that they don't like intersect with the sky, they look considerably less silly. Oh! I know I can make that jump. Let's try one last time. Okay, I'll just no clip up there. Yeah, so they look considerably less silly, which is always a nice sub goal to have. And then we have this little room back here. And this jump is super impossible. That's all right. Cool. You could almost what I could do is since the tile size is arbitrary, I could do a Delver style tile where the tiles are like an entire room, and then you could stitch together rooms. So I could use these tiles to build rooms as tiles for another map, if that makes sense. So it would be like multiple layers of me building like these small grain tiles to a larger grain tile to, yeah, that could be a thing to do as well. Yeah, and then can I make that jump anymore now, or is that just also like a broken thing? Yeah. Oh well, but it affords this sweet lower door for testing. Yeah, I'm thinking also maybe in the add layer, also adding just multiple, having a way to, because like slamming in extra geo is super useful. So maybe adding like a half height. I don't know. I say that with some trepidation because I didn't want to do that before. Now I'm like, oh, half height doesn't sound so bad. But maybe that could work. I don't know. Yeah, Jazz again is giving me a hard time. She's encouraging me to go down that rabbit hole. This area is a bit dark too. There's a torch there, but I could also maybe put one over on this wall. Yeah, this is definitely getting to a place where it's fun to just mess around with and build stuff, which is I think a good sign. Maybe save and go, and yeah, my tool there took 1.4 seconds, so that's not super bad. Again, I want my tool to be as fast as possible, but I think 1.4 seconds is a reasonable time. I don't know, like sometimes folks are used to waiting like, you know, tens of minutes for different parts of like light or viz or whatever. So I think a couple seconds is probably within my budget. Yeah, so that lights that up a little bit. This is kind of a narrow area. 10. Oh yeah, this was a more interesting feature when it was more open, but now that the ceiling's there, it's kind of a silly feature. I guess you could be cheap and put like hit scanners there to whittle you away, but that's I don't know. Cool. Yeah, so I think I'm out of time. Oh, I nailed it! Yeah, now that I've done, I should quit. But yeah, we've had a pretty productive day today. Got some bugs fixed. Again, shoring up this texture transformation is Again, it should be way better than it has been. It might not be 100% perfect, but again, if folks end up using the tool, please let me know. Again, I have a Discord server where folks chat about my various projects. So on my server, the channels land up to my projects. There's also a channel for what you're working on, because my viewers happen to be very talented and intelligent people, which I'm blessed to have. And they share their work there, and I'm motivated by the stuff my viewers are able to accomplish. So please feel free to join there. And this project is under the Quake Tools channel. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, also there's a link to the download for this tool. It also includes the example. After this stream, I will be cutting 0.5 update, and I will push it out there. You can follow me here on Twitch or on Twitter at Joshua Skelly. I am a Twitch affiliate of all things. So if you want to subscribe to me, I'd appreciate that. I consider it like a tip jar. So if you find what I do interesting or informative or entertaining, whatever, if you want to see more of it, please consider subscribing. I have 7 handsome, lovely, beautiful subscribers in no particular order. They are Shamblernaut, Johnny Law, Nixrod, Bill the Dill, Neil Slichter, Dr. Kegel, and Smith. Support the weird, wacky stuff that I do. And I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, and we will keep pushing forward on this. I'm not quite sure what I want to do next, but again, join me in chat, and we will figure out what would be cool to add next. All right, folks, have a good rest of your day. Take care.